Good morning, Bill.
It's creeping on the screen. Good morning, Bill.
I'm trying to plug my light in real quick so that way.
I thought we were just going to do a show like this.
I don't think anybody wants to see that, honestly.
How's it going?
Not bad. I got up and I looked at the temperature and saw that it was 30 degrees, and I said, no walk.
Yeah.
Can't do it. So I came in here and did a little bit of like some very super basic yoga stuff, right? Downward dog, right? All that stuff just to kind of get some movement going. And then the goal will be to either do more of that like later on in like a coordinated yoga practice, or hopefully it warms up a bit and I go for a walk later on the day.
Yeah. I ran out real quick, just let the dog out. I was like, nope.
Yeah, it is chilly.
So
Good morning.
All over the grass.
Good morning, Levi. How are you, sir?
Hey, Levi. Yeah. So, and then I woke up with just snot.
So, it's like, dude, what are you doing? You woke up with hands on your face?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got a bit of that sluggishness going on this morning too. So
it was weird. I was recording video for the course yesterday, and I've got this new lavalier mic, which sounds pretty good. Michael Ryan sent it my way. It was like $30, and it sounds pretty good. But I think I had my gain turned up a little too high because you can hear a little bit of like the hum. And so this was the majority of my day yesterday, was creating the video for probably about half to 3/4 of the course. And so I'm going to finish it up today. And so I posted it in my Facebook group, right? It was like, oh, hey, right, working on this. How bad is the hum? And one guy who's not even in my target market was like, it's okay, but I would prefer, if I was going to pay for it, for the quality to be a little bit higher. And man, I just spiraled, right? For no really great reason, right? I was just like, God, no one's going to see any value in this thing because one person told me.
One guy.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that stupid?
It's funny how we all process information different. I'd be like, okay, yeah, screw you. So you won't get an invite.
Well, it was funny because the comment thread went on for a little bit, and then he said something like, man, we should just catch up, and like we used to do it old school, like not having to click a link. And mentally in the back of my head, I was like, okay, is this weird because like he doesn't want to meet on Zoom? Is it weird because he doesn't like to use my scheduler? Is it weird? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I of course overthought that because Ray is a pretty good friend of mine, right? So I was kind of like, well, that's interesting. Maybe I am being, I don't know, a little too hardcore. But on the other side, I get a lot of stuff done. So I kind of have to balance that out with, sure, I'm not immediately accessible to everybody who wants to spend time with me, but I'm also getting a lot of actual productive work done.
I've had a couple people tell me the same thing. Like, oh, can I get on your calendar, Mr. Jordan? I'd be like, yeah.
So this is one of those things that like irritates me. Do you really want to spend 6 emails back and forth trying to coordinate on the time?
I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I am wide open right here on these sections of my day, on these certain days. Just pick one. It's so much easier for everyone involved. It has nothing to do with I have a assistant who can get you to me. It's like so dumb.
Oh, I had someone. This is a long time ago. They're like, what? You couldn't afford a real assistant, so you have this tech, and I'm like, wow, really?
Other people's head trash,
It's crazy how like deflective and weird people get.
And I'm gonna bust some people's balloon right here.
Uh-oh.
It's actually a really good buffer for people you don't want to hang out with.
There is that, right?
No, that's the ugly truth. Some of the time is I don't really think it's important enough for me to stop my day and screech and halt down to go have this conversation about who knows what for who knows how long.
Yeah.
When I got over here on things I'm trying to figure out. Like I have certain friends that I don't send through that calendar app, but they're like people that I'm actively trying to hang out with myself, and like I'm pursuing them. And then if the calendar is helpful, I'll bring it into the equation. But it's like, hey, Wes, what are you doing, man? You're super busy. I know you're super busy. When are you available?
Yeah.
It's like that approach, So
yeah, I'm trying to think of the people who don't get a booking link, and it's you, because when I'm available every morning, right now.
Yeah.
Melissa, but we live together, and most of our conversations are ad hoc. And if we have a booked meeting on the calendar, then I don't have to send you the booking form, right? But for everybody, how about Tuesday? I can't do Tuesday. How about Thursday? Well, I can do Thursday. How's 1? Okay, 1 is good. That's at a minimum 5 exchange messages that's just wasted time in like emails that no one needs in their inbox, right?
It's just perception.
For sure.
I think it's all perception. You're too important to meet me out here and haggle. I have to come get on your program. That's what it is. It's like you have to get on my program. Maybe that's what it is.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well,
my C takes over at that point, and I say, look, you have no process, and I have one, so let's just use mine, right? Yeah. It's kind of like that. Yeah, it's kind of like that one line. Until we have data, let's just go based upon my previous data.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's that. Like if I have to come into your throne room to seek your conversation, then it's just all a little like, oh, sorry, John, I have to come over to your place to even figure out what's going on.
I don't. There's one person, Maureen, right, and she, we text occasionally and just kind of like make sure that the other person is doing okay. And she's like, hey, like we should meet up for a coffee or a tea. Mm-hmm. And I'm not that worried about getting sick or anything, but like it just doesn't seem like worth doing. You know what I'm saying? Like this works for me just fine. And I know that some people have Zoom fatigue, and that's turned out to be this huge big deal. But like I've been doing this for over a year, right? 3 to 4 Zoom calls a day. Like, there's no more energy involved than
that's the robot, because the eyes want to see people.
I get that, but I can see you.
Part of it. No, I know. Yeah, you know that. There's energy in person that there's not on a Zoom call. So it's that's the answer for sure. Yeah.
It's that.
Come on, you all know.
That is illogical.
Actually, scientific. So,
but you can get the same thing, right? You can get the information necessary, right? You can have good conversation. You can have good rapport.
You can't get the energy that the eye likes in meeting with people. That's why eyes are craving it, because they're not looking for just the information like the C's.
Eyes are single-handedly like pushing the coronavirus further. If it wasn't for eyes, it'd probably be gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's right.
I love blaming global pandemics on personality types that are the polar opposite of mine.
Yeah, that's a thing.
This incessant need you have of talking to people. Mm-hmm. It's ruining the world,
bro.
Good morning, Michelle.
Bro.
And morning, bro. He looks a little bit like, oh God, what is his name?
Slater, AC Slater, that handsome dude.
No, that's not who I was going for. I was going for, damn it, Nick. He's a stand-up comedian. He was in Parks and Rec. He was the douche in Parks and Rec with the radio show. He's in Big Mouth. Someone knows what I'm talking about out there. Somebody.
Levi knows what's going on.
Levi probably knows who I'm talking about. Actually, I don't know that Levi watches TV, honestly.
No, I'm saying with the comment, he knows what's going on.
Oh, Nick Kroll. Thank you, Levi. Yes. Chris Rivera in this photo looks a little bit like Nick Kroll.
Okay. I'll have to go look Nick Kroll up because I
you
really
should go look up Nick Kroll. And Levi, I agree with you. Online poker and real life poker are not the same thing. Ray Davila, I was just talking about you, sir. Welcome. Ray's the guy I was talking about a second ago who was trying to give me some feedback, and I took it way too critically and had a rough evening because of it.
Just kidding, party for yourself.
Well, I mean, in that most evenings when you're a C and you shut down all the computer systems, and at the end of the day you have to go out and try to be a human.
yeah, like computer systems, him himself, because he's a robot. So he's like,
that is exactly correct. That's the sound I make and everything.
That's right. Shut down noise.
Power down.
That's right.
And then I just walk out of the room.
Melissa actually just takes a little switch and goes, "All right, good night, John."
Pretty much. And then I just become this like devoid of personality, like husk, right? Because because the robot can't do the one thing he enjoys doing.
Like his work systems. Gather data, process. Repetition is key. I'm over here spreading, COVID everywhere just because I have to be around people.
Have to be around people, right? Hell or high water or spreading a pandemic.
That's right. Of course, if the world was left up to C's, there would be no procreation anymore, and there would be like 6 people in the world because it would be like, this does not fit my current program.
That's true.
So,
but we would have
go around.
That's true. But we'd have a lot more done.
Yeah.
That's for
with
sure.
No soul, devoid of any fun. It would just be structures and perfect engineering harmony.
The fun lies in getting stuff done. Morning Ray. Oh man, how was yesterday, Bill?
Well, speaking of getting stuff done, bro.
Oh wow! All right.
I got a lot of writing done yesterday, so it was nice. Good. I got a lot of had some email campaigns to write, and I finished all of those, and then I had some writing on the book to get done, and I got a good chunk done of the intro.
Nice.
So yeah, that's mostly what my day was. I had a couple other meetings, but
cool.
Yeah. What about you?
Yesterday was interesting. The landing page that we were working with Erica on is live and done. It's up in my Go High level, so I'm going to start sharing that, which is the entrance point for Sales Lab, which is just a place twice a week where you can come practice these questions you need to be asking on your calls, so that way you don't wimp out in the moment because you feel emotional about it. Right? Process is devoid of emotion, right? So you have to be able to ask the hard questions to make sure that you're doing things the right way. And you laugh, but this is super important because a question like, have you made a decision that we're all the same except for cost, is an uncomfortable question. But if you're talking to someone who says, why should I work with you? That's the question you need to be asking, not, well, let me tell you why you should work with me. And putting on your sales breath, right? And you're essentially just putting on the stupid plaid jacket. No, go the other way.
Well,
I have no idea.
I've actually got a really good example of that from yesterday.
Please share.
So for those who don't know, I've gotten divorced, and it actually went final yesterday. Okay, and this is important to the story.
Man, wow.
Yeah. So that happened yesterday.
Congratulations. Sorry for your bad luck. I mean,
what do you say? You go, okay, yeah. You need anything?
Robot doesn't know which emotion to express. It smells like a grease fire over here. I don't know what to do.
Grease fire. But I was switching. She was moving her cell phone to another carrier, right? Moving it off the plan that we held together, whatever. And she's sitting in line at another carrier, another store, right? And she calls me up. She's like, "Hey, they need the account number and like the PIN so that they can grab it and port everything over." And so I go, "Okay, let me log in real quick and let me grab that." And so it's not right where it probably should be, right, on the billing page. I go into chat and I say, "Hey, I'm looking for my account number. Can you help me out?" And this person says, "Why do you need it?"
What a terrible customer service interaction.
Why do you need it on the day I'm getting divorced and my wife is waiting, my ex-wife is waiting? And so I go, well, I'm trying to make a transaction and it requires the account number. Can I get that, please? And they said, great. In order to help you better, can you let me know why you need the number? Clearly trying to pitch me on something soon, right? And so now I'm 3 exchanges deep, and I say, okay, since you're prying, I got divorced today, and my ex-wife is sitting waiting for the account so she can move it over. He doesn't say sorry. He doesn't say, or it's a she. She doesn't say sorry. She doesn't say, oh, that's interesting. Let me help you. She said, oh, okay. Let me look into that information for you. Zero amount of emotion involved in this conversation.
Zero empathy. Yeah.
I'm picturing a C on the other end of this chat, like in a customer service chair,
Yeah.
and so then finally I come back and they go, did you know you can save $30 if you switch plans? I say,
last ditch effort, make a cross-sell offer.
So I say, you know what? You haven't even given me the information I needed. There's no way I'm talking to you about my plan right now. And so then she sends me a cut and paste of where to go find it on my desktop.
Oh, gross. That's lame. That's bad service, is what that is.
It's horrible. It's horrible. And she probably could have saved me some money. Oh, no, the other part, this is even better. About halfway through it, she says, oh, okay, you could just move her to her own account. Like she doesn't have to leave Sprint. You can just move her to her own account. I was like, I don't think that's a conversation I'm really interested in having with my ex-wife right now. She's standing in line waiting for it. Could you just give me the number? It was like a circus show, man. I couldn't believe. And I'm like dictating it to Mindy because she's on speakerphone and I'm here typing, right? I'm like, she just said this. She just said, you're kidding. Nope, she just said this. Say this back. Oh man, it was comedic. I lost you.
Sorry, double mute. That person is in need of what's called the nurture stroke, right? Something, hey, I appreciate you letting me know. I appreciate you telling me that. Thank you for letting me know. Something along those lines. So that way and I was the worst at this, right? Because once again, robot has no feelings, right? So I'm just like walking around. I'm like, is that a lot? And like not having like any empathy about it at all. So like I couldn't understand why these questions were falling so flat. Mm-hmm. And the nurture, right? The nurture is super important. If you're not going to give them the thing that they're asking for right there in that moment, you need to nurture them so that way you can like reposition afterwards. But also just give the number. Like some things are not a sales transaction.
No. Well, and what's funny is if she had said absolutely nothing different, she had used all the same dumb responses and she had done it just in a different order. Like I was thinking through it after the call, I might have actually talked to her because it was like, oh, okay. Sorry to hear that. Here's where you can go find your number. Can I ask you a quick question before you go?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Quick. I'm good. I got the number. She's taken care of over here on the speakerphone. Yeah. What's your quick question? Boom.
Well, and let's ask the question that like this person should be asking, as opposed to trying to sell you this offer and getting your ex-wife to stay on the same network, which is obviously outside of your realm of control at this point, right? Because you're not even married anymore. Let's just make sure that you're on the right plan now. Yeah. Right? You have someone who's leaving your plan. Are you on the right plan? Like that conversation makes total sense, Jake. Sorry you're going through this. Would it make sense to take a second to look at your plan, make sure you're still set up on the right one?
Right. Yeah. There might be some different things now that your life's changing that we could save you some money on. You want to take a quick second to look at this and see if we can save you some money. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for solving my problem. I'm open to a conversation now.
Yeah. I'm going to give a different example of how going the other way is helpful, right? And this is from Levi, and he was not doing this intentionally. So he was reading it. He was, well, I'm just putting it out there that this was not manipulation. It just ended up being a great situation illuminating this point. So Levi had read this article around procrastination and the 4 different types and everything. And so he gets excited about it because Levi feels like he's a bit of a procrastinator. And he goes up to his wife and he goes, hey, could you help me out? I'm reading this article talking about these things. I think I'm this one here. but I'm not really sure. So his wife goes, well, I don't see you as a procrastinator at all. And honestly, I see myself as this person. Now, let's just assume for a second that Levi went up to her and was like, hey, I think you're a procrastinator and you should read this article. How do you think that's going to go?
Right.
Not the way that you want it to, right? But by saying, hey, I think I'm one of these things, having a conversation about it and leading the way, making it totally okay to be one of these people because you're willing to put that label on yourself. The other person is willing to, it's now easier to admit in front of this person who's willing to accept that same label that I might also struggle with this thing.
Yeah,
that's hugely important in your sales conversations, because some of these questions you people ask in the second DM, hey, nice to be connected, John. Can I ask you a question? Yeah, sure, man. I'm happy to be connected as well. What's up? What's the number one complaint in your business? And it might as well have flames on it for all the heaviness of it. Like, I barely know you. Why would I tell you this thing? And so you have to remember that people are not going to be open and honest with you. And when you frame your questions to like try to get to that impact too quickly, they put their walls up and they're going to tell you what they think you want to hear, right? Or they're just going to ghost you completely. So your questions have got to progress in a way that it builds the rapport and builds the trust. So that way, when you say, how much do you think that's costing you? You're going to get an actual response because you've dug deep enough, right? And people don't think about this at all.
I heard one time say that it's like a piece of a section of a song, and you're just dropping a note, versus if you play the whole verse up to the spot in the song, it makes perfect sense and that note hits. But if you just drop a random note, people are gonna be like, what the heck is this? That was a weird noise. It's like, hey, how's it going? Can you buy my stuff? Like, that's the note, right?
Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot the past couple of days, of just how incredibly easy it is to say no to somebody because you just feel uncomfortable. Like the day after Thanksgiving, I got a cold knock on the door and I was like, okay, this is weird. And I just thought it was an Amazon package, but then I hear voices on the porch and I'm like, oh, okay, sales call. Let's get it going, and this guy was there. And it was a little creepy, right? Because he pulls out an iPad, it's got my name, right? And it's got just like this kind of weird amount of like unsecured debt, right? He's like a debt consolidator, right? He's trying to sell me like a personal loan. And I was like, well, this is business debt, blah, 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 all this stuff. And he was just like, oh, okay. But like, dude shows up on my doorstep the day after Thanksgiving, like no call, no appointment. He's referencing something that he sent me that I've obviously thrown away. And right there in that moment, I'm like, there's a better way to do this thing right here, right? You're referencing the thing that you mailed me is like trying to trigger this thing of like, oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. Why don't you go ahead and tell me what the mail thing said? Like, there's another seemingly step that kind of makes sense there, that you don't have to show up on someone's porch the day after Thanksgiving in the middle of a pandemic to pitch them, because like the dude was like all up in my space, right? And so I felt uncomfortable because I don't know who this dude is. There's another person on my, like just off my porch, and it was this very like aggressive, assertive kind of thing. And I was like, hey man, this is business debt. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. And started to do the thing that most salespeople do. He started to have the conversation with himself. Right. Oh, okay. So you're not really like leaning on this debt. So this doesn't really apply to you. So this probably isn't really a good fit. And we should probably just get out of here. Right. Do I need to be here for this conversation? Like, cause you're not even really including me.
Yeah.
And so then the person left. But the thing, like, there's like these cultural norms. And right now showing up on somebody's like doorstep is going to be a little kind of hard to wrap your head around. Right. And, I know a person who runs a sales team, right? And her boss is all over her. Like, why aren't I guys out there doing cold calls? And she's like, look, if someone just cold walked into our office, I'd be pissed. Mm-hmm. And we have a sign. So I'm not going to tell our people to ignore those signs when I would be pissed off if someone came in here and ignored our sign. And it's like, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah. There's always cues and norms that you have to look at to start, just to get the conversation going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that is really important when you can lead the way, when you can make it really easy, right? By either telling a story, making it about you, making it about a lesson learned, making it about something that you had never seen before. And then you learn this thing, you make it easier for the person you're talking to also admit that things are not perfect. And depending upon how you view salespeople and how much of like the stigma you're aware of, like that's uncomfortable, right? To admit to a salesperson, oh, this could be better, because you know what's going to happen next. Oh, let me help you make it better. Shit. Right. This wasn't the conversation I even really wanted to have right now. So.
Yeah. How about you? I started in DMs on LinkedIn when someone connects with me, and it's someone that it looks like I seemingly might want to connect with. Whereas what I would have done before is just passed. I've kind of, I haven't been accepting many connections this year. What I've started doing is saying yes, waiting for their first email or message. And then I have like a cut and paste ready that says, hey, I'm happy to get to know you better and see if this is a good connection, but I'm not up for any pitches right now. And just put that right as my response after their first one. Now, if it's a good exchange to start, I don't put that. But if it starts with the cut paste that they do, where it's like, my name's so-and-so, and here's all these things, and it's 3 paragraphs long, and here's go check out my thing, cut, paste, send back. Or if it's a leading question, hey, I've got this one on, and that's the ones I actually built it for, was those people. It's only 3 sentences, but it's clearly that, do you have pain? Just how some sort of phraseology that they have found from some guru to tell them, if you phrase it this way, you'll get past the front door.
It's so funny because everybody knows what you're doing. You're not being clever. And so then the response of like, well, hey man, I'm just asking a question, like putting your hands up, like you're offended when it is blatantly obvious that nobody starts a conversation with like, when you look at the aspects of your business, which one is the hardest one for you? Is it lead generation? Is it servicing those clients, or is it teams in a process to like make that whole thing easier? Nobody asks that as a secondary question if they don't have an agenda.
You're basically being Dwight on The Office, walking into David's house going, this looks like a pretty well-built house. Can we go check out the attic? Remember that episode when he's like checking the rafters and like everyone's like, what?
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
He's like pounding on the walls. Yeah.
You're that guy. You're Dwight.
Yeah. And here's the deal, right? As a C, like that's the guy that I want to be, right? And I left to my own devices, I'm that guy. Hey, you want to talk about business? Yeah. Do you have something I can help with? Like I love being that guy. I love the cleanness of that transaction, but it doesn't work if people don't trust you. Holy crap, it doesn't work. I was the guy who's tried it 1,000 different ways and gone down in flames each time. People need a little bit of small talk.
They need that nurture from time to time, even if it's just a small little one. Yeah, for sure.
And so yesterday I was supposed to have a call about being on the podcast, and then I was supposed to have a call. So this was really weird. I thought this was an interesting bit of like lead handling. So I blew past the call for the podcast because I was doing videos and I was in the zone, and I was like, hey, this makes more sense than a potential like sales conversation that might lead to a podcast episode. And so I had this call to do PR for someone who's been successful in getting people into like NBC and all this stuff and everything. And I thought that she was just like a one-off person. And now it turns out that she's like a whole agency. And I got an intro to her. We chatted back and forth, and she's like, well, do you want to talk to one of my partners? I'm like, no, I want to talk to you. You're the person that I have any sort of rapport with. I want to talk to you. And she was like, okay, cool. So we book a time. And then I get like 2 text messages from 2 different numbers saying, oh, hey, we've double booked. Can we move this around? And I say, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm kind of feeling like this isn't what I thought it was going to be anyway. And they're calling me BIL in the text messages, which was very odd. And then I said, you know what? Let's just close this for right now because I'm confused. I don't know what's going on, right? And when you make it hard for people to understand what you're trying to do, they're just going to default to like opting out. So I opt out. And then I get a text message later on saying, oh, hey, our fault, right? The owner is available. She is going to talk to you and everything else. But by that point, I'd already put the phone down, right? And so I'd moved on and I'm doing my recording. And so then all of a sudden I'm getting all these pings about like, oh, hey, I'm in the Zoom. And I was like, I told your guy that we should just close this, you know? So that was interesting, right? If you are doing this kind of process to where you have booking forms and teams and systems and everything, like this is a loop that shouldn't have existed.
Yeah.
In my
opinion. Sounds like too many systems or no clean handoffs. Like, and you and I have talked about this. Like, the best system is the simplest one. Who you need to talk to? Okay, here's a form to talk to them, or here's a place to book them. Mm-hmm. Done. That's it. Because anymore, you can connect all those things to all sorts of things. Like we have, all sorts of systems in ActiveCampaign, connected to Zapier, connected to Acuity, connected to like. But as a customer, you're never going to know that because it's I want to talk to so and so. Click here.
The other thing that I found interesting is that when you book on this person's calendar, the last thing is a redirect back to their site, right? And I was like, oh, well, this is really interesting. But immediately after that, I started seeing their ads in my feed. And I'm like, okay, like this gets it. But the interesting thing about that is that I think it's cool because you're not paying for ads for like cold traffic, but it was also like a little bit jarring because I wasn't seeing any of this person's ads, and I get targeted for all the agency and coaching ads in the world. And now I'm seeing lots of her ads. So I wonder if that's a situation to where I just noticed that because of who I am, or if that happens to like everybody and people don't care, or if there's like a more gradual way to kind of like slowly trickle that out. So that way you're seeing the ads without it being no ads, 3 ads.
In my experience, that's a lazy ad buyer. Yes, I'd love to book a call. Sounds great, Michael. That's exactly what we're talking about. Great, good stuff, guys. What would you say your biggest challenge is? I can make it work for you. Why don't we book a call? I knew you'd come in here and sell.
And then you're on there with like the nonsense of like, well, I'm a client engagement specialist, or like some stupid term because you're just scared to call yourself a salesperson because then they might know that you're trying to sell them something. Like if you're not as clever as you think you are, you should just own the thing that you are and act in ways that are congruent with the best practices. So yeah, I'm a salesperson. I would love to figure out if there's something you're dealing with that I might be able to help with because it might be something that my other clients are dealing with. And if it is, I would love an opportunity to kind of tell you about what I do. But if you're not dealing with that stuff, we don't even have to go there. Mm-hmm. Do you want to take my call?
Yep.
Yeah, you want to take my call because I'm setting the expectation of exactly what's going to happen. You know exactly what's going to happen on this call, right? If there's an opportunity for me to help, we'll talk about it. If not, we won't even go there. But I would still like to learn about your business.
Yeah.
People take my calls. It's weird. Whenever I ask with a little bit of like humane intent as opposed to just robot John. You want to chat? Yes, let's chat. Let's do business.
Yeah, but the problem is I think they're getting what's his name?
Small Mountain.
Dang it, yeah. No, I believe the joke because I forgot the name of your comic.
Tenzin.
Yeah, Tenzin. Sorry. Yeah, they think they're getting Tenzin. Yeah, I want to book a call with this bro, dude. Yeah, let's talk to the bison.
I need to go get like one of those like full head masks, that they do at Target around like Halloween. But I need to get one as a bison, so that way people are expecting to talk to Tenzin. You just show up on a Zoom call, and I'm wearing a buffalo mask.
Yeah, or you blow people's faces off. You're like, what's going on? Oh god, wrong Zoom call. This is crazy.
If somebody can find me
story to tell,
if somebody can find me a rubber bison mask, I would be very excited.
Yeah. See you, Michelle.
You have a great day as well.
We should probably get going too.
We should get going. What do you have today?
I've got 2 client Zoom meetings, and I've got doing PR with a lady in the Story Brand Network. I've already connected with her, and we've.
I know her. You entered. Erica introduced us. I owe her client a phone call today.
Actually. Well, we're starting today. We're having our client kickoff meeting with her today, so that would be fun. And then some more writing.
More writing. Okay. I have 3 hours of finishing this video today. Like it's going to be finished by 11 o'clock. So I'm off to a great start of procrastinating on doing the things I don't want to do, which is why this particular episode is running as long as it is. 11 o'clock, I've got the real estate mastermind. I'm going to start sending out messages to the agents, because realtor is a trademark term, to the agents that I'm connected with on LinkedIn to see if we can have some calls, because we're ready to start the mastermind. I have a call at noon with a marketing guy. I've been working with his team a little bit, and they're amazing people. This dude is on it. He's 20 years old, and I just like him a lot. And so he saw stuff about the book and the course, and we're going to have a conversation about maybe him building a funnel out for me and helping me do some media buying and some ads and stuff like this.
Cool.
And then I've got Sales Lab at 2, which I'm excited about. And then I have a call with a guy. He's worked with some of the same coaches that I am. He's also really into sales. I don't think he'd mind me saying this. He's more of a robot than I am, and super cool guy though. I like him, and so he has kind of worked his way in of like running a company under the CEO, and he has some pipe drive questions. So we're going to nerd out on some CRM stuff, and I will be done at 4, and I've got other little blocking and tackling to do from 1 to 2.
Awesome. Well, we've got a fancy little call to action slide here.
Yes, we do. Put it in there. Put it in there.
Let's see what this looks like. Tell us what you think. So we've got a new quiz we're doing over at Quirk called the Business MRI. So if you want to check that out, that's there. And then of course you can get on John's spam text list. It's right here. So.
I like how you picked the greatest photo of you and just the derpiest photo of me.
You know what? I asked yesterday if you wanted a different photo. Don't throw me under the bus like that.
I mean, like the baseline is so low. If that's the photo that you're going for, can we just establish a new baseline?
Sure. Anything's up from here, so let's just do that.
You're all legit with a bow tie standing outside and everything else like this, and I'm just like, you want to talk about sales?
You want to text me some?
Oh god!
No, hit me up for a photo. We'll do that thing, and then Michael Ryan's offering to help you out with that hum on that lavalier mic.
I know. I'm definitely going to call him.
Nice little bow on it.
Yes, Chris Rivera, I would like you to find an as derpy photo of Jake, so that way we can make his photo as derpy as mine. I'm not going to class mine up to his level because I don't think I can pull off a bow tie. So let's just bring Jake down.
No. We rising tide all boats. We're not doing the other thing.
Wait until you see the call to action slide I make and bring in here. It's going to be.
Oh, bro!
It's going to be
like weird shots of me. Like trust me. I think they're the best thumbnails. Honestly, the stupidest faces we can make are the best thumbnails for people to stop and watch. You know. So
well, I actually have the photo to end all photos of you.
Oh yes. Have we
shown this on here?
Chris must have something good too then.
So I'm going to show this on my phone, right? This is Mr. Jake Jordan coming over to hang out with us in a unicorn hat. Why is that not on the call to action slide? How much better would that be? I would sign up for that dude's accountability group.
You want to be the unicorn of your marketing universe? Go here. I can put lipstick on pretty much any pig. I'm good.
If you talk to me for long enough, the words will just magically come out of you. Oh man!
All right. Well, we'll see if we can find maybe a chef picture of John with his chef hat on and a pumpkin pie right here like this. We'll do something like that.
Doesn't exist.
In the lab with the pies. Come to the sales lab.
Come practice your sales things. I will give you pie. Like that's what it takes to get some people to actually show up and role play in these calls.
Offer food to guys. It's over. I have cookies. You want to sales lab? You said something about cookies? What was before the sales lab part? What did you say? Yeah. What time?
Oh, Chris, I don't think you can beat that photo either. But if you can, sir, I would love to see it. And your whole goal now is to manufacture a situation to where Jake takes a photo that looks more epic than that one. Make it happen, sir. I trust in you. The force is strong. And Chris Rivera, go make that happen.
Yeah. Well, if you want to look at stupid photos of me and John, just go watch our rebroadcast because I picked the stupid pictures of us for thumbnails. And there's a plug for later for noon.
Awesome. All right, man. I got to call Michael Ryan to get some hum help, and then I got to do some recording. And you have a lot of writing to do, so let's get to it.
Get to it, man.
All right, Bill. I'll see you in the morning. Do you need anything today?
No, I won't slow down today, probably. So I'll think about 6 o'clock.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, man, thanks for coming this morning and being here. We appreciate it. Michael Ryan, thank you so much. Michelle, Levi, Ray, good to see you, buddy. Always. Chess soon. But yeah, Bill, you're going to be busy. I'm going to be busy. So I will see you in the morning. School day tomorrow, right?
No, we're off. It's Christmas.
Oh, okay, cool. Long Wednesday show, guys. All right.